When you go on your YouTube homepage, does your algorithm look like this? When you watch the videos,
there's a solution. Stop watching the fucking video.
content recommended to you. Do you?
You know, here's another thing. These drama video guys that feel like overwhelmed by guys like us that put out a lot of content and clip our streams and stuff like that. They watch all our shit to get our information so they can make videos, and they probably resent it.
If you're watching this video, there's still hope. These are all symptoms of slop content. Others have covered the topic, but never before has someone given the world a look at the behind-the-scenes process.
Yeah, pissed poorly. So much so he had to take down his video, admit he didn't research it. That was that guy, right? Yeah, what was his name? He was he was the most beautiful.
It was like, the beautiful man. I want to say his name was like Raimundo.
Raimundo! Everything not like they slapped on there. No, I didn't talk like that, but yeah.
Also, those videos seem to keep...
I'm a little surprised. Have you noticed that the
the
chinks in the wall are starting to show for Moist Critical?
I did not.
I am seeing more and more YouTubers swing at him, including Nick DiOrio last night. That guy was unmotherfucking touchable 5 years ago. And when I say untouchable, anybody can make a video about him. And I don't think he would do anything like underhanded to stop them, but the fans would crush.
Yeah, it wouldn't have any
Yeah, it would have no effect. He would ignore it, and the fans would do the rest of the work. I mean, I've made minor criticism of him, and I actually have a lot of respect for Charlie. I think anybody who can look at a camera and keep you engaged like he can, and actually calling Charlie Slop, I think is super unfucking fair, because he's really just an old school YouTuber.
Yeah.
It's really what he is. And I don't see anything in here that's particularly the editing that's particularly off the meat hook. This is a script, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all.
How it works, how it baits you in, and how you could possibly...
You have no control over yourself. You have no agency.
...get away from it. But as a starting point, what is slop? Why is it called that? And why is it bad?
I made it up. I'm trying to start a little movement here, and I don't like it, so you shouldn't either.
Slop is the blanket term used to describe low-effort, mass-produced content. Slop content on YouTube has a lot in common with fast food. There's a big market for both, it's easy and digestible, and they're both unhealthy for you.
Unhealthy? Are we really going the Christian extremist route? It's unhealthy. You need sophisticated content. What's unhealthy? See, here's what I think, because a lot of these kids, they think they're a lot more important than they really are. I mean, this guy's obviously done really well, but you're not important. You're not sophisticated. You're just a YouTube. And I think it's guys like this, you know, the 400, 500K guys that don't really have a name in our community are getting sick of getting beaten by a Turkey Tom video that just was a clip from one of his streams. So it really just sounds like some gatekeeping nonsense to me. And here's another thing they don't realize. Not everybody actually watches us. Not everybody does. They usually keep it on in the background and they play video games because it's not necessary to watch this. That's the way I have always done it, because you could play video games while you're listening to whatever the fuck I'm talking about. That's the way I always wanted to do it, you know?
But that's how I am as well. Like, before actually coming onto your shows, I would genuinely like be writing an essay and then listening to you in the background.
You really don't have to look at my face.
As well.
You don't have to look at my face. I mean, sometimes you do, I suppose, when you're doing React stuff, but you really don't.
Yeah.
You really don't. And you know how I know that? Because when I listen to Stern, and he would play videos, and you obviously couldn't say because on the radio, but you could hear the audio, and he would react to it.
Yeah.
Just like obesity is a massive issue in America, empty, forgettable content is a massive issue on YouTube.
Unforgettable content. So it's just simply it's simply an elitism. When you say something like that, it's just an elitism thing, you know?
There isn't anything wrong with daily content. In any market, you're going to find quantity and quality. And completely pushing for quantity has always been a valid and successful business model. The issue is that oversights and defects are more likely to occur when a product is mass-produced without quality control. I think the term slop largely comes from the fact that the research and execution is sloppy. Even in higher profile situations like Kendrick versus Drake, we're finding the relevant...
You compared us to a rap beef?
What is going on? Oh my god.
Should have been highly produced, like the end of 8 Mile.
Information is a lot easier. People like Pyrocynical, who don't remotely care or have any interest in the topic, will still cover it just because he...
Jesus Christ, it's called a job. This guy lives with his parents. This guy lives with his parents. He's literally pushing 30 now. I think he's at least in his mid-20s. You always
I think he's like 27-ish.
You can't do this as a passion when you're paying your bills with it all the time. And believe me, he's 100% right about this. Your videos are 10 times better. My streams are 10 times better if I'm into it. But, you know, telling people to stream at least 3 times a week, they expect it. That's what our Patreons are there for.
He knows it'll get views. This leads to a
He
lot
knows it'll get views. The entire object. He should be above that. It's just elitist nonsense. This is the shit. Like, there's this whole thing, like, when I was growing up, and it was like the New Jersey hardcore scene, and you had to listen to a certain amount of bands and a certain type of group and a certain this and certain that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you couldn't listen to Pearl Jam, because that was too commercial, and that's what this sounds like to me. And they see themselves as that much more sophisticated. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with this guy's videos, but it just seems like I don't like having to compete with Darky Tom, because, you know, I'm getting 200,000 videos, and all he has to do is put out 2 or 3 videos of 40,000. He's making more money than me. That's what that sounds like to me. That's the thing about Tom. Like, they really go after him in this, but he still puts out quality stuff on top of the so-called slop. Tom has been good at this for 7, 8 years now. Even when he was like he's always been a really good critic. I don't think he's really fair. I don't think he puts out slop. I think he clips his own streams and puts quick stuff together because it works. I personally think you should have a level of interest to cover a topic slop. You should get a ton of info wrong and embarrassing to the creator. That's on him. And that's great. That's your personal thought. It just sounds like a bunch of nonsense. You have to do deep research. A lot, you know, it's funny. That's funny you guys say that, because like when I started this whole channel, I started eating the sophisticated guys that are getting shit wrong all the fucking time. And these guys edit. These guys have to take time to look stuff up. So I don't think it makes much of a difference. And if you don't like it, sure, fine. I guess do what this guy says, turn it off. But I don't think you're looking at this as the market for people that just want to play video games and listen about YouTube drama, which is a guilty, that's all you guys are covering. And you're covering the same shit. That's another issue. And you just want to listen to it in the background. I suppose if you think you're changing the world, but John Swan was, look what happened to him. I mean, yeah, if you don't like it, if you want everything to be of colossal crazy level, well, you gotta wait fucking 5-6 years for video. Go ahead. He's great. And he's better than 90% of them. But that's not what this is. That's a different level of criticism. This is the WWE version. I like wrestling and I like colossal. You know, I like Steven Spielberg and I like fucking kung fu movies. I don't think these guys get it. It's just, you sound like a bunch of arrogant. Bruh. Listen, I'm the first one to admit, honestly. I remember I got mad at that chick. I don't think streaming's that difficult. And the guy always impressed me was like Rush Limbaugh, how he could stay on for hours and just talk about politics. It's mind-blowing. Chud does it for 9. Chud does it for 7.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that's not a talent. You might not want he's covered, but to keep people engaged, I wish I could do that. I've never been able to do that unless it was a big topic. So don't tell me that doesn't take a certain amount of talent. It's a different skill set than making a video, but that takes a shit ton of talent to do. I am mind blown by how Chud can stay engaged himself, because I can't go more than 2 or 3 hours and then still keep them there. If I go when I've done 3, 4, 5 hour streams, usually on my birthday, the special ones, I've lost good 25 to 50% of my audience by the end. Chud, he only loses at the tail end. So don't tell me that doesn't take talent. And if you got a problem with it, don't watch it. I guess you get, or you could start a movement online, and like, because that's where this video takes me. It's like, this is really uncool. Don't watch it. And the motivation is they're beating us.
Obviously, Slop isn't going to have the same creativity or production value as something with more effort, but that's by design. Slop channels are less about the product and more about the formula. Something they tend to do is find a simple and repeatable format that lets them stand out while not significantly adding to the workload. Much like the fast food chains, optimization is a key factor. Just replace the assembly line with a layer of branding and editors. For the longest time, gameplay commentary has been the easiest to produce, but that ease of entry also leaves it oversaturated. In recent years, more channels have moved on to using facecams instead, something that takes a similar amount of effort while also letting them stand out. After all, what's more personal to you than your face? When it comes to sloppers, the hardest part is building the machine.
Once I put my face on camera because I thought it was fucking beautiful. I thought it was, I came in this as total normie. I thought that's just what you do. And then I realized, well, people making money never showing their face. I would never done that. No one, I would never told anybody my age either.
Now, I think it's important to make the distinction that internet drama content isn't inherently slop. There are several examples of really well-constructed hit.
Yeah. Like, this can't be produced all the time. This cannot be produced all the time. So we're filling the void. This guy sucks over here. This guy doesn't make videos anymore. Who is that? I don't even know who the fuck that is. I don't know who any of these fucking guys are. I'm sure the videos are fucking fantastic, but you can't produce it. And I tell you something. I'm not seeing anything on this video that remotely resembles a content cop, a once-in-a-lifetime generational video that actually changed the culture. Whatever iDubbbz is or what he's become, he was the best commentator, hands fucking down. You are not in that category, pal. And I don't think I'm being insulting by saying that. I mean, you may have blown yourself up to think you're some kind of important person because you got 400 subs, and congratulations. But it really just sounds like this is a giant, and that's what it sounded like when Chubb was interviewing the most beautiful Spaniard. A giant bundle of copia. That Emplemon is amazing. Absolutely. You know, we're talking about elite guys. There's got to be role players, too, on the team. These are elite. And Tenor? Hey, 400K, you've done something. We haven't done anything really cool or controversial. You would have been on my desk.
A video with Slop, if The
I don't
visuals
give a
are
rat's ass if this kid's 17. When they give you a gun, you're a child soldier, and you still get shot.
boring and uncreative with no clear vision.
Shouldn't be a child soldier.
Facecam and gameplay are both easy ways to fill in footage without thinking, causing different videos to be tonally and visually the same. The majority of the content is directly built off of someone else's.
Evil.
Commentaries and reactions are fundamentally built on another piece of content. That way, you only have to do, at most, half the work, and you can let the original piece play.
Is this guy essentially like the work should equal the amount of money? I got news for you. There is nothing in life to where that's true. Oh, the people that work harder make the most money? Yeah. Sure. Tell that to people that put cars together.
The videos don't bring any new information or perspective to the table. Oversights are common and can be noticed just by watching the video as intended. Oversights are common. The creator tends to meander on tangentially.
Didn't you just make an editing error there?
Yeah. Lazy, slop.
Hold on, what you got?
New information or perspective to the table. Oversights are common and can be noticed just by watching the video as intended. Oversights are common.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I tell you, you're gonna say everybody's. You're gonna say somebody's sloppy. You gotta, yeah, ironic. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Oh my god.
Creator tends to meander on tangential.
Was that on purpose? No, yeah, maybe it was. Hold on a second.
Oversights are common and can be noticed just by watching the video as intended. Oversights are common. The creator tends to.
I don't know. Maybe it was. No. It was pretty funny. It'd be pretty creative if it was. That's interesting. Oversights are common, and then it was talking about oversights. Maybe is that a trap? I don't know. Maybe that was on purpose. I don't know.
No, but you know, go because the thing. No, you can tell the cut though. It's really weird.
Oh yeah.
Go back again.
I give him props if that was the being funny. That's pretty funny actually. And if you got me if you did, but
those don't bring any new information or perspective.
I also just gave him an out
to the table. Oversights are common and can be noticed just by watching the video as intended. Oversights are common. The creator tends to.
Yeah, it sounds like not only that, he does the thing. The reason I don't think it is, and I'll tell you why, it's because of this. This is like a cut. I know what a cut error like that, where it actually kind of rolled in again. Oversights are common, and he has an oversight. That's fucking funny if it's true. I don't know. Timing's too perfect to be a joke. Yeah, it's just funny.
The creator tends to meander on tangentially related topics to extend watch time. AI, and lastly, the most important factor to me, the videos aren't rewatchable and are almost designed to be discarded.
Nobody's fucking putting a Spielberg movie here. Like, I can't believe you didn't think of this.
To zero in on that last point, there's actually a term for the opposite of this sort of content, evergreen.
Who made up these fucking terms? They did?
Just like the tree never loses its color, the content never really fades out of public relevance, and can continue to be watched even years after its original.
Yeah, but it's like when you do trending content. Implements, it's super good. I mean, he's amazing. By the way, I was so sloppy and worthless. Like, he did a video and he lets me talk for like 30 minutes, and it's just me talking.
The assumption is that while Slop has the ability to be quickly mass-produced, evergreen content can be watched
as it's streaming. It's being produced right now.
It's just as well, if not better, in the long run. Another thing to point out is that YouTube has always had tiers of content. This is something
so does every form of fucking media.
Yes, old Leafy videos were still slop. Just because they were around before the term was made doesn't make a difference. Examples of evergreen content, like Content Cop, can also be found. The difference between then and now is that back then, the two types—
I can't believe they created a website for people to make their own fucking videos. And some of the most popular videos on the website got popular because they were kind of not low effort as much. I'm sure there was a lot of effort put in them, but they were obviously not as good as like a movie or a television show. And that's what made them cool. This guy, he wants to turn this into television? It's why I like it. It's one of the things I always agree with Keemstar. Being a YouTuber is better than being an actor or a singer or a musician. It's way better. And I hate it. That's one of the reasons I hated the former YouTube CEO that passed away. What was her name? Wojcicki.
Susan Wojcicki, yeah.
Yeah, she wanted to turn it into TV. It's YouTube. It's by you. It's me and the camera. That's it, you know?
Types of content could easily coexist without competition. Leafy would get millions of views on his daily videos, but they'd never have the impact of a Content Cop. Nowadays, videos like that are getting increasingly rare, and even then, these good videos could still be directly competing with—
There is some truth in that. You don't have too many people on the content level, but I'd blame that on goddamn, you really can't get big if you're edgy. I was pretty edgy back in those days.
Another thing I'd like to highlight is what I'm calling disguised slop. For what it's worth, most daily drama commentaries make it clear and obvious that they didn't have much thought put into them. They take a few hours—
The thing is, I'm not making a video, I'm doing a stream. So is Chud, by the way. And we're uploading clips. I don't think Chud doing anything different than Rogan.
Then they're posted. Disguised slop, however, consists of videos, usually taking the essay or documentary approach, that trick the viewer into thinking they're watching something good with fancy editing.
That's ridiculous. That's a stupid
bamboozled.
statement. You've been bamboozled. You have no agency. I think I'm watching something good. Hey, you know what I know I'm watching something good? When I watch it and I say to myself it's good. I'll say that looks good. I'll click it. Oh, it's fucking AI trash. Yeah, that happens. But I mean, you've been tricked. I mean, that's like clickbaiting. Like the idea is like, oh, this is good, but it's really bad.
The writing that makes these videos memorable.
Can I point out that if you look, I don't know if this is him like kind of messing with it, but the YouTuber he has right now on it has less than 700 subscribers.
Oh, really?
Bottom right of the video. Yeah, if you look, he puts their name and then the sub
count. Yeah, he's a pro.
Memorable.
And the video itself has 123 views.
So it didn't work. Oh God. So he's basically saying this is crappy clickbait to let you know, and it's only got. He fucking put a fucking 600. I really don't give a shit if this kid's 17 or not now.
Yeah.
So he used a 123 view video from a guy that has less than 1,000 subs. Who I used to say like, you're not in the game until you have 1,000. You're not even in the game. You're not even in the game. Like some random. Oh, why bully? I don't give a shit that he bullies. Punch down all you like. I'm so sick of that punch down. But that is a really horrible example. It's like the worst example.
Yeah.
You know, this guy tricked. I'm sorry you got tricked by this unknown boy TV.
Yeah.
Like, are these fake though? No, in fairness, are these
just
fake?
trying out.
Is there an unknown? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe we've been tricked. Hold on. No, this guy's a real guy. He's real. No, you're right. I totally concede.
Like, what the fuck?
This trend right here has to be one of the worst trends. There have been worse trends.
This type of content tends to take the form.
He's just a kid. That's why I have no problem fucking dumping on this guy. None. Bait me. I'll fuck you up. Hey, you know what? Come on in. I'll stick it in your ass. I don't feel bad about it. Judd's worried about his image. Mine's shit. Let's go.
The videos jump from topic to topic with no connection between them. No through line, themes, or deeper narrative.
Oh, so people make videos differently than you do.
Is to be digested. And that ends with a video you watch once, then never think about again. Again, there's nothing innately wrong with slop content, disguised or not. At least when there's no better alternative.
What does he make? He got 1 million for the Ray movie is worse than you can imagine. Ryan.
You can go to his videos and then filter it by popularity.
Awful Plants I mean, is this a sophisticated content you're talking about? Plants vs. Zombies? Evil Superman? I'm sure you put a lot of effort into it, but like, where do you get off? Like, these topics are fucking stupid, you know? And there's nothing wrong with making stupid topics. I mean, do you really think this is like Spielberg quality? If it is, it's a waste. If it is, it's a waste. It's just Plants vs. Zombies. What killed the Plants vs. Zombies franchise? Oh, there's something I really need to know. I feel like it's important.
Well, it was definitely something you needed to know 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably fucking 15, 16 then.
A lot of slop creators don't have the ambition to make better videos, but can still thrive on this platform by being ahead of the curve, quickly covering new drama and situations as they unfold, regardless of if their information was properly fact-checked.
You made a video critiquing Sniper Wolf for something, saying definitively she struck the channel. There was not enough information yet to say that she definitively struck the channel.
You've been coming in here with this whole thing of like integrity and all this fucking shit. Like, dude, you gotta like, you know, dial it down a little bit.
Who calls out those guys the most than the slop YouTubers you're criticizing?
But they don't do it with much effort. That's why.
I guess there needs to be more effort put into it, yeah. It's gotta be a whole fucking video, which takes weeks.
Good, rewatchable, evergreen videos turn to making vapid, flavor of the day slop. Content no one will ever bother to rewatch or even think about again. And they begin throwing.
Who cares? He made one super rewatchable stream. It was fucking on Anicia. Everything else just went away in time. And who's gonna like to do sports radio? Is that slop content? And no one wants to hear about the Boston Red Sox in fucking 2013. Now it's all current events. It's trending topics.
I'm not that annoyed when someone who isn't skilled or talented enough to do better makes a lazy commentary video. But when someone with that talent wastes it by pumping out garbage instead of making something better, that's where I start to get a bit miffed. That's a waste of talent and potential content that I'm being deprived.
And you are the gatekeeper of the talent guy.
You're being deprived of content.
Established and skilled
being robbed of content, exactly.
The creators
intentionally
that's
the argument he said.
He also thinks the audience is stupid too. Like, you think you're watching Steven Spielberg, but it's actually shit.
It was disguised slop content.
Disguised.
The wool has been thrown over our eyes.
Oh.
It's money. Obviously, it's always money.
You clearly don't pay for your own fucking house, rent, anything. If you want this stuff put out, you gotta have, I mean, even if somebody made like really high-end content, he's gonna have to stream eventually if he wants to make a living doing this. And it's real fucking easy to make really fine videos when you live with your parents.
So obviously the creators are driven to make this content solely with profits in mind, as there's little to no creative process there to begin with. But why do they do so well? You can say it's because the algorithm promotes it, but the algorithm just delivers what the viewers want. So why do the viewers watch it? First, the packaging.
So he's gonna make the argument now. The viewers don't know any better.
The thumbnails display as little information as possible, just enough to entice the viewer without revealing any specifics.
It's like YouTube. I often said, like, what would you do differently? Do you make better thumbnails? Yo, shit, Sherlock.
A cartoon character on a blank background with some text, or the subject of whatever the drama video is about. In this niche, the titles are vague, not providing the viewer with any information.
Yeah, let's give the whole fucking thing away! Nobody will watch it, you dipshit!
What the video's about.
I think thumbnails should now be a paragraph.
Is the fact that there's a situation.
Yeah, up the
I mean, you could literally make the same argument with like newspapers and shit, and any kind of like newspaper that's online. It's the same thing. Try to get you in so you read it.
A purposely vague, neutral term meant to get the viewer's foot through the door. And once that happens, Pandora's box has been opened.
I know Charlie's taking a beat, and I don't know how you call him Slop. People love his personality, his delivery, everything he's done. And didn't he like not take money for years or some shit like that? He was like one of the original guys. If you can hold somebody by looking at a fucking camera, you have talent.
The Mr. Beast situation somehow got 10 times worse. If this is true, this could actually be the end. This could be. I was debating whether I wanted to talk about Mr. Beast. You just destroyed his career.
This is literally, the funny thing is, this is Turkey Tom a couple years ago. I'm glad he admitted it.
Yeah.
I don't know why he wouldn't. He's grown up now. You will be as embarrassed about this video in a couple years as Turkey Tom was with his stupid Raid Shadow Legends fucking porch carry.
All of a sudden, your entire recommendations will be flooded with an influx of forgettable, interchangeable drama content. Different situations, yet always the same thumbnail, and always the same titles. But after viewing begins, why would anyone stay watching? This leads us to the next important piece of the puzzle. The algorithm needs watch time. And if they're making bad videos, people aren't going to keep watching. Or are they? Over the years, the sloppers have found the perfect workaround. Drama.
Drama always sells. I mean, I wonder if he thought he discovered this himself. Has he ever heard of the National Enquirer? TMZ? Like, that shit didn't exist before fucking YouTube? Of course. It's a cheap, guilty pleasure. I mean, this guy just held up a fucking steering wheel and said, look, this steers a car.
The reason a lot of drama slop does so well is because the viewer's collective interest in the given situation leading them towards it is always more persuasive than the lackluster content of the video begging them to leave.
They won't, if that's true, nobody will stick around if that's true, though. They'll get sick of you eventually. Pegasus has been around for a minute.
Recap the Mr. Beast allegations, you're watching to see what Dogpack is alleging. The issue here is that Pegasus is an aggregator, with no insight or involvement. He isn't
true, that's true.
Diligently looking through the evidence, he's repeating everything he sees in front of him, pushing the popular narrative because everyone else is. Everything he says is just a watered-down version of a better and more entertaining video, and even the information he presents isn't double-checked. In his third video, Dogpack accuses Mr. Beast CEO James Warren of domestic violence with no source, and Pegasus just repeats it.
I always thought that was our job. Take care of the goof on him. Mock him out of existence. Which, by the way, did anybody hear about Mr. Beast over the last weekend? Was there any Mr. Beast stories? I didn't. I think that little self-investigation kind of ended. Like, I was surprised. I totally disagreed with the Chud. I have to concede that I was wrong. I like, the Mr. Beast story looks dead. I didn't think that would stop those wackos. But I mean, Pensino took such a fucking beating from Nick. I mean, she publicly embarrassed herself. And the other guy, everybody knows he's a moron now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure now because I haven't checked in a bit. But the most recent Pensino video I saw was about Logan Paul, like completely.
Oh, she's going full blown trauma. She'll fuck it up. Good. I'm glad. That's good news for us. Yeah,
if
he's gonna go. Yeah, that's good. That's good news for us. That's good news for us.
Not even bothering to correct it in the pinned comment or description, even after Dogpack rescinded that point.
There's allegedly domestic violence charges that were filed against him.
Now, obviously, someone in the CEO position of Mr. Beast, in my opinion, should not have a history of any DV or psychopath behavior or drug addiction or potential harassment involving a female colleague, right? These are all extremely concerning allegations and need to be addressed immediately. I feel like you have to take some responsibility for the CEO of your company, right?
This is sloppy journalism, and
yeah, and like nobody takes care of this better than the slop creators.
Yes, journalism is the right term here. People watch this content for the same reason they watch the news. They want to stay informed on the latest events and drama. But if the videos aren't entertaining...
Have you noticed that most of his cutting criticisms are completely and totally subjective? He's entitled to his opinion.
It's
but
just his opinion.
That's not... The subjective criticisms are fucking lame. It's just I don't like.
Provide the correct information, there's literally no merit for these to exist.
This dude is very obnoxious editing. What do you mean? He wrote that music.
Now that we have a good understanding of slop content and everything it entails, let's go through the life cycle of YouTube drama.
The only thing I understand is you don't like it. That's really the only thing I understand. Everything else could be explained away by it being professional.
All drama starts from the inciting incident. Usually a creator is called out for doing a bad thing. This first wave of backlash leads to people beginning to make jokes and memes spreading the claims, and within a day or two, the first wave of slop videos are released. With that current drama unfolding, now would be an ideal time for accusations to occur. People begin looking into the accused's history, digging for any possible behavior to be called out on. Streamers will go over this as the situation develops, and sloppers might make an extra video or two if the situation is crazy enough. After a little while, a response to the drama is issued.
Actually, you know what he's 100% correct in absolutely everything he said. This is the only way to get rid of an Illuminati. This particular thing where everybody's making videos, that is the only way people are held accountable on this platform. So he basically, what he doesn't want is what's going to hold people accountable for the thing that he doesn't like the most. So I don't know what he proposes to do about this cannibalization problem, which is, if it is a problem, and I really don't think it is, do a video on whatever the fuck you like, because this is what holds people accountable. It's just like, because let me tell you something, Error. Somebody made like 50 videos on you, it's gonna have an impact, even if they're from like 100 subs YouTubers, 50,000 sub YouTubers, or 500, or God forbid Charlie.
And is either reacted to with an overcorrective defense, or career-tainting humiliation, which is sometimes deserved, sometimes not. Then with the drama coming to a close, the sloppers throw one more video out to end things off. And a few months later, the disguised sloppers release retrospective documentaries of events.
I like those. I like them when they're a couple years apart or 6 months apart. What's wrong with that? This video by Turkey Tom was uploaded with a brilliant editing oversight, which was fixed afterwards. This indicates little to no quality control. And we found an error in his video. Funny.
Just summarizing what happened with little additional storytelling. A lot of the time, someone's coverage of the situation will also be called out, and several much smaller splinter dramas will occur. These usually aren't talked about as much since they aren't worthy of the news cycle, but smaller channels will continue reacting and responding to each other to propagate the slop economy. I find this regurgitation of content to be interesting. Something even more interesting is that a lot of the time, that inciting drama doesn't really matter. In the early stages, a lot of it is just propelled by those making money off of it to keep the income flooding, spreading around old, unrelated stories to keep the bloodthirsty drama viewer base.
You mean research? Like, I see something on Mr. Beast, and I don't like really watch Mr. Beast other than my kid, and then I'm filled in on an older situation that may or may not be relevant. Or we're doing something on somebody's character, some of the things he may have done in the past are definitely relevant. Now, this does go into the weeds with like cancel culture and stuff like that, and I do realize that. But that just sounds like research to me. This video is slop. This is no different than anything Tom makes. I got news for you. No different. It's really isn't.
Slop with that deceptive editing.
Oh, maybe he made it slop on purpose to kind of, you know, a sort of theme and the aesthetic. You know? I don't see anything different. And I think it's interesting. Like, I don't think, you know, Nick never believes me at first, but he eventually does. I think Nick makes the same type of content. And he doesn't fall because he just likes it. You know, he's trying to, and the fact that, you know, this whole thing started. This is bad for you. How is it bad for you?
Think of the children, Tommy.
I mean, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like crazy. None of this shit. Sitting around watching TV all day is bad for you, I guess.
A lot of the time, it actually gets pretty sad. You have streamers repeating the same few points on repeat, desperately trying to keep the audience engaged and enraged while...
How desperate could Chud be? I can't only imagine how much money he's making. And in the whole thing, he doesn't make video. And I think that's, I think that's a very disingenuous, if not deceptive, thing to tell your audience. You have to tell him he's a streamer. And you're leaving that off on the table completely? Well, we haven't got there yet, in fairness. But if he doesn't say that Chud's a streamer, I think that's really super disingenuous. Because the whole idea with streaming is keeping people engaged.
They need to build up the importance of these situations because their livelihood literally depends on it. And if it's a slow day...
Oh, it's called being a professional. Your livelihood, really. My livelihood isn't made because my mom and dad, they pay for my car and my mortgage and my school. I don't feel that way. I don't have to depend on YouTube.
They're gonna pull in less money.
But I mean, dude, this guy's brilliant. I hope he continues to make videos. I'm gonna cover lots of his stuff from now on, if it's of an interesting topic to me. Bro, he is absolute content gold mine.
So we've established that slop videos suck ass. But seeing these established
Another subjective statement.
and respected creators switching over to me is a lot more annoying. When a Cheeto or Pegasus make bad videos, no one really cares. They never made good videos to begin with.
So he starts the whole thing that would be bad for you. He never actually says what that doesn't even suggest it is bad for you. What he suggests is he doesn't like it.
Someone known for going more in depth covers things poorly, it kind of damages their credibility.
No, it doesn't.
Everything up until now was
Pyro is one of the most respected fucking YouTubers on this platform. Kind of degenerate.
basically just set up. This is a video about one man in particular. This is a video about a man I used to look up to, someone who's inspired me. This is a video about PyroLIVE.
48 hours. Well, to be honest, I'd pick you up, hug you while rubbing you against my...
I'm going to use this video to address the allegations made against me.
Many believe that the term slop originated from him to begin with. I personally first heard it thrown around on an episode of his podcast, TBH.
I like to imagine it is an actual trough of slop and just the little piggies running up to the trough.
Pyro is someone who used to be known as a Leafy clone, riding the same wave that Leafy used to come to prominence. But over the years, he would slowly shift from that image by making increasingly higher quality videos, both his deep dive game reviews, as well as by refining his general commentary videos. He was someone capable of achieving a level of humor while still being able to be taken seriously, something I myself am trying to achieve, and he was highly rewarded.
Actually, I think you set yourself back because you come off like a child. No one wants to listen to a child or have being dictated to by a child.
Because of it.
And it's like, it's a good thing you are a kid because you'll grow out of it, but if you weren't a kid, it means you would be some kind of retard.
While in his gameplay stage, he was the follower. In his more long-form content, he was a pioneer. Eventually, he would solely commit to the long-form game reviews. Unfortunately,
let me tell you something, and I'm one of the few guys that this is why I don't make any real money. One thing I'll say about Pyro, unfortunately, the art to being a YouTuber is not coming up with the most sophisticated content. The art is to be able to develop, or long-term YouTuber, develop and change. There is only one guy that has stayed relevant for a significant portion of time that really hasn't changed. It's just Keemstar. I mean, if you go to all these guys like Boogie, even when he was hot, everybody forms into the new fad. Everybody. And honestly, I think that takes a certain amount of know-how, talent, networking. You know, that's the job. He's basically saying the job. There's something inherently wrong with the job. Vanos, that's a good example. Is he still hot? I haven't heard that name in a long time. I guess I was thinking the drama sphere, but I'm sure there's more than Keemstar, but that's ain't too many.
This gap in his dichotomy then sparked the creation of PyroLIVE, a second channel that started as stream highlights before slowly shifting and evolving into a daily commentary channel. In a lot of ways, it's the same as he's always done, but something's changed. The video lengths have ballooned from 10 minutes to over 20. He spends several minutes per video rambling about unrelated topics, and even some of the topics themselves
what do they get? He gets mad hits.
Are just ass. He clearly doesn't get.
It's just his whole point thus far, and we were halfway through this video, about this being bad for you, is very simply his aversion to this content. That's it!
Give a shit about what he's talking about, so misinformation commonly slips in, whether he doesn't know the full extent of a situation or just other.
You know, I get criticized when something happens live. Well, you know, like something will happen like after the show. You got misinformation. Well, it hadn't happened yet. Like maybe that was the case for him. God.
Obvious oversights.
Wait,
should have been able to predict it, Tommy.
Oh shit, I didn't know he did that.
Many fans have seemingly diluted themselves into thinking.
You know how people can't tell fucking premieres from live streams? It used to be like that from the old days. They couldn't tell fucking live streams from videos.
It has to be this way. That there's no better alternative, and cope by saying he needs the numerous slop channels to fund his good videos. Now, on its face, that logic
probably does! It's probably a fact! Let me tell you something. This guy, Terror, will not be around a couple of years if he continues his attitude. Or he'll do a Turkey Tom. This is like a Turkey Tom video fucking 5 years ago, right? He will be gone. Pyro has stuck around and probably will be a YouTuber well into his 30s because he evolves and he makes good business choices. Sorry you don't look up to him anymore. Grow up.
Personally, I don't think he's in a bad financial situation with his $5,000 PS5 shirt.
Yeah, you gotta keep it though. The idea is to keep it. If you don't do anything, they take it away from you.
$20,000 a month on
Maybe he wants to be a YouTuber. I'm sure Piper could retire. I'm pretty sure he could retire. Maybe he doesn't want to.
For personal use, but the easy claim to make is that just because he's making these videos for money doesn't mean he shouldn't be criticized when he gets things wrong. I do think it's
fair enough. I like to see a criticism. What he got wrong.
Respectable that, for the most part, he tries to avoid talking about more serious situations. It's better to spread misinformation on something that doesn't matter, but it'd be even better to see no misinformation at all. A little extra effort goes a long way, even if it is for slop content.
No, I totally disagree with that. Unless it's like allegation or something serious, if you fuck something up, that is absolutely fucking irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant. No what we're trying to get at, no misinformation at all. Boy, you know, Jesus Christ, put on your jackboots and let's fucking goose step. I mean, like, we have to eliminate the misinformation. Can anybody just be loose here? Can anybody just have a conversation? They did this for Rogan when he first went to Spotify. That's misinformation. Like, you're basically saying don't have a conversation. Don't speak freely. Guess what? When people have talk, they might be misinformed and they might say something that's actually not been verified by the Associated Press. Let's shoot for perfect, no misinformation speak. What kind of Nazi shit is that? You know?
A lot of people seem to have forgotten what Pyro's best commentaries were like. He would build a unique atmosphere around the topics he covered. He'd actually buy
and people stop watching them. These guys, the guys at Pyro's level, they see a little slip, they make moves.
His book or try to meet morgues. His video about Karens, for example, had a House of the Dead inspired intro, which separates that unique video from all the other videos on his channel. And the same can be said with just about every other video from that era. And those videos were great. Certifiably not slop. I could still go back and rewatch them today and have the same enjoyment I did in 2019 and 2020. It's evergreen.
Here's another thing, like, this evergreen stuff, you can't pull it forever. You get cold, and if you want to stay alive, you got to change. The way I would, if I was going to put it on an esports guy, you're an esports guy, you're at top of your fucking game, you're going to have to go to streaming eventually. Because you're not going to either be able to maintain the level of winning enough trophies, and there's more money in streaming anyway, and you already have a name. It's called evolving.
And this effort was rewarded with millions and millions of views per video. It's easy to forget now, but Pyro didn't just—
we need a different platform, opinion too.
Wake up one day with 5 million subscribers. He made videos to earn it. I'm not saying he can make videos on this level every day for PyroLIVE, but incorporating elements of the higher effort format, even just for a video or two, will do a lot of work to make the videos stand out again.
How much? This is when you're a fucking expert. I mean, he's guessing the logistics of this.
And maybe the views will reflect that. But instead of anything memorable, he just needs a situation—
and also, there's a million fucking Leafy and Pyro knockoffs too.
—to be crazy. All the issues I have with Pyro's approach to Slop Tent can be found in one situation. A microcosm that's reflective of almost all of the problems in his entire operation.
And so I thought Tom was a target. I guess Pyro's really a target. I was wrong.
Yes.
Oh, I said some misinformation after skimming the video. Let's look to root that out.
It all started when the YouTuber FlazeFire made a video called "The X Situation Is Why." It's a video that, on top of being very well put together, is also very, very blunt with its criticism. He points out why this type of content is bad, makes fun of everyone doing this content, then he himself becomes the example of what to do instead. It's a well-edited, well-written, and hilarious video. And
more example of subjective stuff, except he likes it this time. That's it. It's bad for you because he doesn't like it. That's what I've gotten out of this video.
All of this material is condensed to 7 minutes and 54 seconds. So short that the video can't even play mid-roll ads. He lost money by choosing to do this, but not adding those 6 seconds when he so easily could have really—
he's not a sellout.
The video. No one could possibly claim that this was slop because it wasn't a profitable
venture.
True
God,
sloppers—
this guy's so rigid. What a no fun cop.
Would never even entertain that thought. So this video captures Pyro's attention, and he does a reaction to it on his Pyrocynical TV channel, a stream highlights reaction channel that re-uploads highlights of segments—
is he gonna take a swing at fair use?
—taken from his streams. I was curious to see Pyro's reaction to what he says. It's a video that takes a very aggressive stance against slop, and as someone who formerly made good videos on a regular basis, maybe his worldview and experiences on—
he's gonna change.
—on YouTube can provide some insight into the slop mindset. Then I watched the video, and it was awful.
That's why I called it slop, because it's garbage content. Videos need to be profitable on the slop channel. Yeah, that's the point, really. That sucks. Like, no one cared. I don't want to hate the LGBT because this guy's gay. That's funny.
First of all, before—
oh, he doesn't like having fun. Oh, now I get— oh, we all gotta like— this whole thing is about what you like. He doesn't like loose— this is exactly what I was talking about 5 minutes ago. He doesn't like that loose content. He doesn't like the easygoing stuff. Sorry. I like it.
Before even getting to the reaction, the Pyro TV channel is the third channel for a reason. It makes PyroLIVE look like good content. With his reaction, the video goes from less than 8 minutes to nearly 50. From the outside, that's a good thing. He clearly has to be adding to the original content to get it that long. The issue comes in how that time is filled. For a lot of the video's runtime, he gets distracted with unrelated donations and goes on tangents that have nothing to do with
He's streaming! So he's streaming? They're leaving that out?
The video he's reacting to, or any of the points brought up in it. There's nothing wrong with this happening on stream, after all, you want to give the people their money's worth. But when you're re-uploading this to a YouTube video, these constant distractions become grating. People are watching your reaction to see how you react. Literally no one cares what some random donator has to say while trying and failing to be funny.
You a sloppy boy, little slopper, sloppy slopper, hopper, topper, bopper boy? Yeah, you are my special little pig.
It's the exact same psychology as the drama slop.
I like that. I don't like why. I actually, this guy would, if this guy's world, like, it would totally ruin my YouTube experience because I like watching clips of streams. He's got a problem clipping streams.
From earlier, the interest in seeing Pyro's reaction is enough to trick the viewer to keep watching through all the fluff.
Oh,
the easy solution is to get one of his 20 editors to cut out the dead space. But that costs a little...
You know what? I think if Pyro could actually trick somebody, and all these people don't have an agency like this guy says, they deserve to lose their money.
Extra money. If he does that, maybe he'll have to spend less money on commissions every month. But through the filler and the donations and watching a critical video for some reason, the talented Pyro I grew up watching is still in there somewhere. Maybe he can really use his decade of YouTube experience to give us some insight. How does he respond to the claims about slop content?
You don't know what you're talking about, and this is how you make money, and I'm a professional YouTuber. You have no idea because you have your head up your ass with your own elitism. That's what he should say.
He's sadly right.
Bro.
He is sadly right. You can't make the slop shorter, because if you make it shorter, you get paid less. I mean, I'm definitely guilty of that as well, though. In the sense of just like...
Oh, God. I'm sure... Like, when I hear YouTubers talk like this, I don't know about you, but I'm refreshed. When they're sitting there telling you, ramming a bunch of fucking faux positivity down your throat. And he's basically saying, look, if you want to do this, this is how you make money. I love that. And I've always tried to be that guy.
Regurgitating information. I am chained to the slop mill.
Oh, really now? So he's just fully aware that the majority of his output is complete and utter garbage, yet he chooses to do nothing about it. Something that annoys me is that most of the viewers actually respect his honesty. He may be making shit, but at least he's open about it. No, if you know you can easily improve, you should be criticized harder. This is embarrassing.
I don't know if he gives a fiddler's rat's ass if you criticize him. Is that what you're trying to do? Make videos that can't be criticized? How boring. You should be criticized hard. Is Pyrocynical making an honor... some kind of argument that he shouldn't be criticized? Or did you make that for him? You should be Hey, make a million videos on how his contents fell off and you like his old stuff. See how that goes.
Admitting that the content he makes and endorses with his...
This guy does not pay for his own car. This guy does not pay for his own house.
Brand is terrible, yet he'll never bother to change because people aren't pushing him hard enough on it. And when they do, he concedes, doesn't bother to improve, and they respect that. In a lot of ways,
they're tuning in for his personality, his background as a YouTuber, just like they tuned into XQC because he was a great Overwatch player. It's the same thing. He's a veteran now, and he can't do the shit that he used to do. And if I had to guess, when he was making that stuff that you like so much, he probably didn't have too many financial responsibilities. Like you, living with your parents at 17. Personally, I'm shocked that a 17-year-old doesn't pay for his own ad. You're a moron, John, as usual. The thing is, because he doesn't pay for anything, he doesn't understand anything about the logistics of being a full-time YouTuber. You're a moron, as usual. Yeah, he doesn't have any other things. You don't have the perspective. You don't have the perspective until you have a kid. You don't have the perspective until you're paying bills. You don't have any of those perspectives. You think things just fucking fall from the goddamn sky because mommy puts them there. And that is the type of mentality that this creates. Now, maybe this kid will grow out of it. Tom certainly did. I literally watched him have the same fucking attitude 5 years ago. But the thing is, he hasn't done those things, so he can make these criticisms and not think they're ridiculous.
Pyro's more dedicated audience really seems to detest the modern direction he's taken. The top comments of nearly every video are actively against him, making deprecating jokes and comments at his expense.
I bet he doesn't give a fuck and he likes it. I love when I fucking goofed on. I like going back and forth with my audience. I bet he doesn't care.
Videos. Yet, they keep watching. A lot of people...
Yeah, you don't get it! That's a part of the fun! You don't get it! You're not in on the joke! You're the lame-o! You're the normie! You're not in on the joke!
seem to only be watching the videos because of the connection they already had to Pyro's work.
Yes!
He made videos...
Yes, they watch XQC because it's a connection to Overwatch. They watch Pyro because he has these legendary videos. Yes! And yes, you can't make all those things. And then Pyro found a way to keep it going. Does Pyro not make like regular videos anymore? 8 hours, 1 hour? Are these like video videos? I see what this guy because he doesn't. He does. He just throws stuff together now. Oh, okay. Even on his main channel. Yeah, he doesn't make videos like he used to. Tough shit. Metallica sucks now too.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, sorry.
In the past that emotionally resonated with them or made them laugh. And because of that, they feel this impulse, almost like Stockholm
They're
syndrome,
completely
to stay around.
more of their nobody has the sense. Nobody knows they're being tricked. They're not being tricked. They don't care as much as you do. Nobody can connect with what you're saying. It's completely out the line.
Around him like they owe him something, even when the content itself actively suffers because of it. But the comments aren't always complete drivel. As an experiment, Pyro did try getting his editors to put more work into certain game review videos, releasing slightly less polished main channel adjacent content. While they didn't do as well view-wise, because you're uploading gaming videos to a drama channel, the comments were a lot more genuine and positive relating to the topic and themes of the video.
You check your comment. Yeah.
Because they recognized that there was an amount of time and effort put into these, and they deserve to be taken more seriously.
You ever consider the possibility these people right here are minority? Have you ever did it even cross your mind that this is a minority? So what he would be doing is, what would be the right? Pandering to a minority, which is bad business.
And yet he still chose to return to the slop
because they're probably only a handful of comments. And here's another thing. God, how many people told me to put a clip channel together and told me this, told me that, and I listened to I don't know how many times I've listened to the audience and they just didn't respond to it. I get all these comments, oh, we really got to do this. I'm getting comments about it every day. I do it. No. Pyro is probably more experienced than I am. It definitely is. Might have been able to see that.
As on average, they got more views than his higher effort content.
We tried doing different content, like we put a couple of days into this video and no one cares. So it's like, what's the fucking point?
If you're mass manufacturing a defective product, you fix the assembly line. But when that defective product is still purchased by the consumers, there really isn't a reason to fix it, is there? In a situation like Pyro's, I understand why he's so willing to fall.
So is right. They don't. Look, Frank Sinatra. Give the people what they want. They don't want what you want. You're a minority. You know what? Maybe just maybe he should make the type of content that you want because it makes you feel good. And all fucking 20 of your friends.
He doesn't have to try anymore for the vast majority of his content because he's already done that work. Built that audience
from chat,
and
apparently there's super long videos on Pyro stuff.
He has no motivation to improve.
Like compilation streams are actually put together videos.
Really? So he's still making these old school videos?
Better videos.
It really doesn't matter.
He has made better videos. He just chooses not to because it's easier and he's being rewarded for it.
It sounds like, I think you're leaving this part, his audience wants it. And that's who you were there to serve at the end of the day. Not some...
They're just being duped though. They don't want it.
They're stupid. They really don't want it. Yeah, God.
Yeah.
They sound like the fucking Democrats after Trump won.
The fans don't care. They just want background noise. And they're willing to fall into that same complacency.
There is nothing in this video that is particularly special, interesting, unique, game-changing. Nothing in this video. It's just a critical video on another YouTuber. They're a dime a dozen. That's what's so ironic about this.
The same mindset Pyro holds towards the same videos on his own channel. They're the same. In my opinion, slop content is some of the worst content that's allowed on YouTube.
Is he suggesting it should be allowed? What kind of subjective cop would have to decide
There's
that?
Worse
Is he? I'm asking.
Terms of service. It lands firmly in the middle of the bell curve, which makes it too consistent to not be laughed at, yet not good enough to be memorable. It takes up this completely empty black hole in your brain.
Yeah, I think you're not a psychologist. You're a dumb kid.
Flacefire actually put it best in his video.
Even after watching an entire video within this genre, I can't recall the title, the thumbnail, or even what the video was about.
If there's one word you can use to describe slop, it's shameless. They don't care when they get information wrong.
That's a different issue. I think it's an unrelated issue.
And they don't care about being forgotten. They only care that they're pulling in money. It's so ironic how often I see people constantly complain about TikTok, yet go on to watch hours and hours of forgettable, nothing content on a day-to-day
You should have learned something from that, but clearly you didn't.
Basis. And I know because I've been there. One of my biggest guilty pleasures on YouTube is watching Minecraft hardcore content. I've complained before about how all Minecraft content is the same, in terms of style, topic,
I hate Minecraft content because it's always about Minecraft.
The only way you can tell these channels apart is by the skin on the thumbnail. And the videos themselves aren't memorable. A lot of the same problems as the videos discussed earlier. And yet, on occasion, I find myself watching these videos, usually in the background, passively wallowing in the slop. And I get it. It's comfort content, both for the fans watching and the creators making it. The viewers always know what to expect, and the creator always expects the videos to do well. But there's a problem here. A personal problem, but maybe one you share as well.
This entire video is a personal problem.
Never in my creative process am I more uninspired,
creative process. Trying to sound like Robert De Niro, fucking method
discouraged, and disassociated from the creativity needed to make a good, memorable video.
Oh, God.
There have been points where I've genuinely believed I had memory issues.
I gotta be honest with you, most of the people that are watching this and not laughing their ass off are just interested in you and what you're saying. Not even what you're saying. Nobody would, like, unless they all think you're this important.
Because of how interchangeable and forgettable these videos are. When there's no excitement in the content you watch, it's hard to get into the headspace to be excited about what you're making. I imagine it's even harder to be constantly surrounded by drama content. If your entire feed is an echo chamber full of negative videos about bad people doing bad things, it's easy to fall into it. To let it slowly consume you until all that's left is a more pessimistic person.
Oh, is that what makes it bad for you? You're the same way watching the news.
Watching other people's videos is a big part of my creative process. To me, there's nothing more entertaining and rewarding.
Dark Viper made a comment. So what? Dull and Dark, thanks for slopping by. He's got like a 2-minute slop video channel. All right, I don't know. I don't care if Dark
Then watching a video and seeing a noticeable change within
Dark, what are they talking about Dark Viper? It's the second time I've seen that.
Yourself because of that video. The best content on this site changes you as a person.
Apparently somebody made, Dark Viper made a comment on this, on the Terror video.
And less of in the following years.
Nobody, I'm less interested in him.
People would rather be comforted.
Yeah, but it would be a funny comment probably.
To be coddled than to be challenged.
You're right.
And creators that, in distant memory, were fucking great, couldn't care less about actually satisfying the people watching because
it's just you. You're wrong. Your whole premise is bullshit. Your whole premise is what? He is satisfying the most people and not a minority. Your premise is horseshit. He realized that's what they want. He gave it to them. Sorry, it's not what you wanted.
People only want to watch garbage.
Well, change the people then.
You know? He did make a comment on the video.
So how do we fix this?
By the way,
how do we?
Always gonna
this is going to be
just a great video, mate.
Yeah.
Creators putting time and effort into their videos.
Slop content creator himself. He checks all the boxes.
Just like there will always be creators pumping out slop. But ultimately, the reason slop even exists is because it's more profitable than.
I don't know how you attack slop when your opinion on it, your definition of it is totally subjective. And then you also throw in on top of it bad journalism, which is it's like a separate video, for Christ's sake.
It's just the optimal business decision. Pyro even says it himself. So, you want to stop creators from pumping out slop? Stop watching it. Raise your standards, and these creators will be forced to raise theirs too. As consumers, if we want better content, we have to boycott. So next time you see a video called "The doo-doo fart situation is shitty," or whatever other collection of vapid, meaningless words, all you have to do is hit the 3 dots and press "Do not recommend channel." Over time, you'll start to notice the algorithm giving you better and better content. Actual artistic works people put effort into producing. Now, for some of the more devoted slop watchers that watch their daily slop to stay up to date on internet drama, I actually have a solution that will not only keep you up to date.
I don't need one. I like it.
I may be the first person to ever actually say this, but go on Twitter. If you're looking for a platform full of negativity,
he's an idiot. That's why fucking Bobax is so successful. Nobody wants to sort through that shit. That's why they come to us. We do the legwork and then crack a bunch of jokes. So you can feel like you're in the fucking room with us. He doesn't understand anything. He doesn't understand how people, I'm sure his social skills are through the roof. I'm sure he's the most popular kid at school. Even the quarterback respects him.
Absolute Rizzler.
Yeah, he's all right. A pussy machine.
Him and that fedora.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, man.
Twitter's the perfect place for you. Like with shorts, I find it so...
Yeah, maybe somebody doesn't have as much time as you do. It's like a lot of people that watch me have jobs. Nobody can sit on Twitter all day. Oh, wait, a teenage boy in high school can.
So funny that people will actively talk about how horrible Twitter is, yet they'll go on to watch garbage
and they all watch out fucking... Everybody talks about how horrible McDonald's is and they still go. That's the one thing. I moved here when I came to Germany. This McDonald's you have, it's very bad. Always packed.
Yeah.
With information.
So this whole video just comes down to, I don't like it. He has not made any fucking case in this entire video on why it's bad for you, which was the reason this video was created. It was designed to craft a narrative why it was bad for you. When he got down to the meat and potatoes, he simply didn't like it.
After I started using the site more frequently, I noticed a dramatic decrease in the amount of Moist Critical and PyroLIVE I watched. because the main source these aggregators pull from is just the Twitter trending tab. 5 minutes a day keeps the sloppers away. If you don't want to go on Twitter, which honestly is kind of valid, another alternative—
Or you guys can come in and stream with me, and you can watch it. We can do it together on stream. How about that? That's what I'll do.
Is to watch
You don't want to do all that shit.
Where slop tubers.
Wow.
Channels like Chad Cat and Dolan Darkest are channels that deliver the information without wasting 20 minutes of your life. Obviously, they—
Look, I watch Dolan Darkest slop videos. I do. Because they're funny, but they're a minute long. And in a lot of cases, they're really dry. I mean, if you want to get the headline, go to Dolan Darkest. That's all that's there. This guy had an argument with Joe Cronin like 10 years ago. I remember that. Say the wrestling room, say what happened, get off. Don't be sitting there doing that for hours. Wait a minute, what? Macho Man went over Hogan. That's what you want? Get the fuck out of here.
Tend to miss some
I got news for you. The only reason you're famous is fucking video games, dude. Not your sophistication. Carried off of fucking Plants vs. Zombies. Carried off of YouTube. Carried off of, what's that fucking show? The Boys or whatever the fuck it is. Carried off of Angry Birds. Everything's based on fucking gaming on this channel. Even mine. All your big shit is on the back of something else. So what's the difference if it's drama or it's Minecraft? There's nothing unique here. This is your big shit. Let's go down for Five Nights at Freddy. By the way, nothing wrong with it. And I don't even know it's bad. You're just an elitist little kid, a gatekeeper that is ill-suited to be a YouTube professional. You're in a good position though, but the good news is you'll probably grow out of it and realize how silly this video is. Like Turkey Tom with his stupid search for making a video on Raid Shadow Legends. You know what I said to Tom? Your video is stupid. He's like, why? And you know what I said to him? I was like, because Raid Shadow Legends pays the fucking bills. So you can make more videos. But they don't even play it. This is literally a conversation I have with Tom. Clearly he's grown up. The other one was, yeah, chicks are kind of cool.
nuances, but if you want the full picture, obviously you wouldn't watch aggregators to begin with. You would just watch the videos they're taking the information from.
That was true. Nobody would have a job.
So that's the slop economy. While I'd love to believe it's possible for the pendulum to swing back the other way to people preferring creative ventures and high-effort, well-thought-out projects, I think the most realistic scenario is that this is just a modern—
I think when the stuff at like 2000, the slop from 2015 to 16, where people just rapped over a gaming video, that was more sophisticated. It's always been like the economy on here. You know, and another thing is like when he's like, you take like ERB, Epic Rap Battles or something like that. And look at fucking PewDiePie. He's basically a react channel his whole career. And then he got enough money from those reactions to make more sophisticated videos and music videos and things of that nature. And your entire content is built off of gaming. Nothing wrong with it. You hate the beauty of YouTube. What you should be doing is getting into filmmaking. But I don't know if you're talented enough because I haven't seen anything in this that has blown my mind. Nothing. And Technicals is super talented, but he's fucking nuts. And a team sports guy. I don't know, fucking iDubbbz is great, but I don't know, he's pussy whipped or something. I don't know what his fucking problem is. He thinks he's another one that thinks he's super sophisticated. All this, honestly, all this stuff, even if you get rid, you end up like iDubbbz when you're trying to like, I have to be seen as a great artist.
Landscape we live in now. At times,
I hate YouTubers like you. I can't say if I get a whiff of arrogance, I'm like, can't connect with that person. Upper right hand corner, click.
And even if this boycott actually causes any sort of effect, which I don't really think it will, even if every human creator completely moved on from slop, there's also the constant oversaturation of AI slop.
When you said that, even if every human creator moved over from slop, at that point, like, wait a minute, hold on a second. This is completely unrealistic. My whole video doesn't really make much sense.
That's only getting more and more common. And honestly, I don't even want to think about that anymore.
And I'm sure he has like these rose-tinted glasses about a great time in YouTube. And oh yeah, those bigger projects, right? I stopped speaking. They have like lots of people around them and then companies and shit, and then they fuck them up.
I've already said my piece on it. So for now, I'll just leave you with this. Slop isn't going anywhere, so all you can do is try to go away from slop. Appreciate good creators.
This really cool guy, Nerd City. Who else? Emplement's really good. Nerd City's super talented. H-Bomber guy's super good. Yeah, I give him that. I don't know any of those other guys. Oh, Bernie's super talented. That's true. H-Bomber guy is like a fucking generational talent. Emplement might be in that area for sure. Nerd City is, but he's crazy. He never makes videos. Watch these guys who never make videos.
Here's while you have them, lest you let them be—
Wait, did he call Nerd City a drama content guy?
Appreciate good creators while you have them, lest you let them be part of the ever-consuming YouTube slop economy.
Okay. I will be honest, I really do hate slop. I really do hate slop. But like, my monthly income at the minute from slop has made like 70 to 80% more money.
I'm actually supposed to be outraged by this. If he has a wife or something, she's like good.
Then what the Darkwood video has made so far.
Bingo. Yeah, that sounds like an adult talking. And he's doing it in an environment. If he's talking like that in like a legitimate YouTube video or something like that, it's like, well, who cares, you know? But he's doing this. He's basically on one of his live channels where he's selling his personality and being real. Unfucking believable.